The Living Tombstone is a common name among the FNaF community. They're known in the community for their songs on the series, starting with 2014's Five Nights at Freddy's The Living Tombstone, followed by It's Been So Long, Die in a Fire, I Got No Time, I Can't Fix You, and today's topic, This Comes From Inside. On June 30th, 2022, The Living Tombstone released their sixth, and as of writing this script, recent FNaF song This Comes From Inside, a song based off of FNaF Security Breach. This song was met with mixed reception. There were positive responses from people, but there were also negative responses from people, ranging from the song itself not sounding that good to its lyrics being considered as controversial because of the purpose of this song being made. However, while the sound of the song is more of a subjective taste, I'd argue that the lyrics of the song makes this song a genius masterpiece. I'm going into detail today as to why I personally love This Comes From Inside. First of all, I think the general sound and singing throughout it all was still good. Some people say it's either outright shit or it's not the best, but I still think it's not hard to grasp what's being sung, and it can sound kind of beautiful at times. The animation in the music video is also unique, fluid, and stands out in a very good and intriguing way. I just wanted to get those surface level aspects out of the way because while very sad and unfortunate, it's true that a certain percentage of people only judge FNaF songs based off of their sound and the music video's animation, which while they're definitely aspects worthy of praise or criticism, what defines an objectively good or bad FNaF song, or any song in general, is the meaning and the purpose of lyrics and songwriting present. In my opinion, that is what determines musical art. Now, some people would argue that the lyrics of the song are just about themes of animatronics trying to kill you and events in the past, and while it can be perceived that way, at least in the beginning of the song, I feel like this is not the case. In my perspective, This Comes From Inside by The Living Tombstone is a metaphor for the current, modern state of both the official Five Nights at Freddy's franchise itself and its community. The middle part of the song is when these metaphoric themes and symbolism all come in. To start off, the lyric, "Long time ago, it was all for a show," is a nod to how the old days of FNaF were. FNaF used to be something that was special to a lot of people. It was pure. It was the days fans and anyone around that time reminisced and remembered because it was simple. There were no lore complications or identity complications or anything of that sort that is prevalent to the modern games like Security Breach and Special Delivery, and even Help Wanted to an extent. As well, the community was always not up in arms with each other. It was a good time to be a fan. Opinions were respected and arguments were very minimal. However, the lyrics start to get more edgier and grim. And the lyric, "Now it's your fault, everything is a problem," is to me the lyric that defines this song. It represents how FNaF and its community are just not the same anymore. It's not the same community that it was fun to be in. There's always someone or something to blame, whether it be Scott Cawthon, Steelwool, Illumix, or a prominent member in the community like a fanverse/fangame developer or a YouTuber. They were blamed for something, and in most cases, what they were being blamed for is, well, they've been blinded by stardom. As well, everything is a problem because the identity of Five Nights at Freddy's has changed. It's different. People also have different expectations. This behavior is extremely prominent in the FNaF community on Twitter. They'll either welcome the change or hate it, and then it starts turmoil in the community. Nobody can have an opinion anymore and have it be respected. Nobody can be at peace with each other, and that's because we're blinded by the good of the past. However, at the end of the day, as a community, as toxic as we've become, we can still say that this is our community. This is our franchise that we love. The prominent members of our community are our prominent members. Five Nights at Freddy's is ours. And all of that is symbolized by the simple lyric at the very end of the middle part of the song, "You're mine." And the ending of the song further carries this point that despite the community and the franchise's downfall, we still care, and we aren't going to let it simply go. We aren't going to let it fade into obscurity. It's brought too much good to let that happen. Our lives have been personally affected by this franchise so much that we just can't let it happen. And as well, I also simply want to point out an extremely clever detail in the middle part of the song where the symbolism comes in. To sell the fact that the past for FNaF and its community were good times to remember, whether intentional or not, the singing voice during this part is very similar and reminiscent to the singing voice in the first ever Living Tombstone FNaF song.
Long time ago it was all for us, shall fill our wounds with a pound of salt.
It's genius. This Comes From Inside is a genius masterpiece of a Five Nights at Freddy's song. It covers the topics of the days in FNaF and its community's past being the peak and good to remember, Scott Cawthon leaving, security breaches reception, the community becoming toxic, everyone being up in arms, blaming people, but as well, still realizing that this franchise is special. As toxic as the FNaF community becomes, and as the official franchise itself keeps declining, Five Nights at Freddy's' identity is still going to be in our hearts, and This Comes From Inside is a perfect representation of that very simple truth.
Long time ago it was all for us, shall fill our wounds with a pound of salt. And your reason to justify scars you can't quantify, lock us inside the vault. Now this is your fault.